I'm Mallory James Mahoney from Bunk'd, and you are watching Disney Channel. Wand, please! Gorgeous!
Okay, have you ever thought about Disney Channel breaking any records or any television network breaking any records of how many seasons they're going to be of one show? Well, this channel and this particular show we're going over in this video you see before you says it all. Well, guess what? In terms of the networks we've been watching since August 26, 2015, and the shows that started with Livin' La Vida Labrats on Disney XD, they're between Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, ABC, CBS, Fox, and soon next year, NBC. The second of the, let's see here, the second of the five, but turning 6 next year, did the damn thing. Bunk'd is getting a season 7 because Disney Channel renewed it like over a year ago for a season 7, and this is a record-breaking. Wait, who could that be? Can I help you? But Mark, this is a reaction video for what it is the Brett Bodine-Matt Kenseth installments of the episodes that we've missed so far. So what do you want about discussing the show getting a season 7? Isn't that supposed to be for a separate video? Well, yes, Clone Mark. This is just a promo, in the beginning of a reaction video, telling everyone to stay tuned for what will possibly be the Elliot Sadler/Tim Duncan installment of my presentation series talking about this topic. So just pump the brakes there, buddy. Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure, so because we still got 11 episodes to go through. Brett Bodine-Matt Kenseth today, and then tomorrow Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton. So therefore, I just wanted to be sure. So carry on with your chores. Take care of that garbage. Check out the wastebasket like Kevin LePage, and let's get the hell out of here before we go over these episodes. Before your sister comes into town tonight, after you get off the phone with the counselor, Bostwick. Aye, Captain. Mark's Thursday night presentations will be releasing the milestone Elliot Sadler, or even better, Tim Duncan installment, talking about season 7 of Bunk'd. My thoughts on that right here, only on Mark Oliveira's Enterprises. Dumbass, it was a recycling, unless you were talking about the wastebasket garbage. Either way, you get my point. Anyway, let's get the hell out of town and remind me to sort the laundry either later tonight or at best tomorrow for day 2 of this little shindig for the Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton and stuff. There wasn't too much action out here, was there? It's all because my boys, my friend group, were all of a sudden they were gone by the time I made it out, because when we were roaming the corner with the ViaQuest bus, they were all out. I was taking my time like I should, not rushing, not tiring myself before I get to where I needed to be, and I didn't get to be there. But there will be plenty of time this spring and summer for us to make that happen, because we have yet to get to the season 2 premiere, Spring is in the Air, which will also take place on the same day as the 2023 Sandy Ridge premiere. So back in we go. And just like that, we already got 5 more episodes of this shindig to go tomorrow. And at last, we're back in the game and totally back on track after Christmas and being sick 3 times and vomiting for the first time in 15 years completely threw us off this season. So anyway, the Brett Bodine-Matt Kenseth installments of Bunk'd is finally, at last, and in the books, which we're getting the Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton installment's going to join them tomorrow. So anyway, let's do some takeaways here. So first off, it's the same common comedy practice where, there's a lot of shenanigans going on in the first half, and then there's because they're like staging and hiding shit, and then when they blow, then the cover gets blown and everything, all these schemes get what was the term Destiny used? Let loose or something? I can't fucking remember. But anyway, dropped it. I can't remember. But anyway, so therefore when the cover were blown, there was some upset people, and there was 3 different plots, a main plot and 2 subplots, and then at the after all of a sudden when they realized they'd done fucked up, and then their plans and everything backfired, then that's when they came and talked out their problems. And it's really cool that we have some love interest, some romance in this show. We have, Trevor Tordsman's real life fiance getting some action with him in character, just like their real life counterparts. And then, Noah has a love interest in Megan, which, she handled those mishaps very, very well. I don't think any good boy or girl in a real life relationship can handle mishaps like that as well as she did. And of course, you had the redneck Marshall and his buddy, oh my God, what was the guy's name? Oh my God. So the redneck Marshall came back and they made a best friend named Javi, a fellow redneck. And I just didn't want to, I'm glad I didn't have to bust out the Mike Skinner on him, because I just don't want to do that to a cool character who's like, neutral. Sometimes he's nice, sometimes he's an asshole, but at the same time, that's when you realize, sometimes when you're good and bad at the same time, it's a 50% chance you win, a 50% chance you win and beat the bad guys. Beat the good guys. It's a 50% chance you lose to the good guys. And in this case, normally he's a good, most of the time he's been a good character, but in this case he was bad. And so he beat, Destiny, Parker, and, whoever else was there. Destiny, Parker, and Jake, I think. Yeah, and Jake. Jake. No, was it? Destiny, Parker, and Bill. Okay, Destiny, Parker, and Bill were trying to get that key. And then, of course, the redneck Marshall's, victory kind of, went south, because when he tried to sneak the treasure, thought he had it easy way out, the pages were blank and the treasure was never found. So, therefore, and of course, Finn came back, and they promoted him to counselor, so maybe we'll see him more when we get to season 7 next year, which is what we're going to be talking about as we promoted in the beginning of the video, during the Elliot Sadler, Tim Duncan installment of Mark's presentations, whenever that may be, because I think we did we do the Bobby Labonte? Yeah, I did the Bobby Labonte installment. We're talking about this new show coming this Friday night. For Friday night, it's called Saturdays. So for the Jeremy Mayfield, the Tony Stewart installments, we'll be talking about Home Sweet Home and Aaron. So therefore, that's what we're going to be talking about, for HBO Max and Family Channel and Nickelodeon. So therefore, what else there? Oh yeah, the paintings too. The paintings were giving, Jake didn't realize at the time that the paintings were giving away, secrets of, Noah and Destiny being bad counselors, and they did try to cover it up and tell Jake as to why they said those horrible things, but Lou found out anyway, because Lou's always gonna find out crazy shenanigans and other straight up bullshit that goes on at Camp Kikiwaka Ranch. So therefore, there's no hiding shit from Lou. What more do you want to go over? The redneck Marshall had an evil niece too, but luckily, the only reason why she admitted she's not really like that as a person. She just only acted like that because she didn't want to be at the camp. And she just wanted to spend time with her uncle. So she was not really evil out of spite. She just wanted to spend more time with the uncle, just trying to find, that was her way of saying that, if you know what I mean. But so therefore, that's the Brett Bodine-Matt Kenseth installments. I really don't have much time to go over the rest of it because it's kind of getting stale out of my mind, and I gotta go eat and get the hell out of here and have some downtime. And my sister just showed up, so I will see you all tomorrow for when we go over the Bobby Labonte through Ward Burton installment. So I will see you all tomorrow to wrap this all up and finally get back in the game for the bunk stuff to finish out the 2022-2023 television season in real time. See you all tomorrow. Good night.
The next day.
Welcome back to day 2 of the Bunk'd 11, 11 episode 2-day special. It's today we're gonna do the Bobby What the fuck? Anyway, today we're gonna do the Bobby Labonte through Ward Burton installment, and once we finish those, we're back in the game. Now, there's some stuff I did want to go over from yesterday's batch that I didn't because it was so rushed, and I apologize for that because I had family over, and they were in a rush to have me there. So Bill's hat. The whole time I actually thought the hat that Destiny and Winnie were fucking with, I actually thought it was Bill's hat, but it turns out it was a plot twist. Bill's hat was in the actual hat was in the Lost and Found. It turns out Destiny and Winnie ended up burning somebody else's hat without realizing it. And then this whole Jake imagining mermaids thing, and all Bill's imaginary breakfast. I mean, I like the work, the effort that the honchos at Disney Channel and Bunk'd alone put into this, especially the mermaids part, which Destiny was getting annoyed the piss out of, but then she decided to play a trick on him, which obviously he never figured out because he actually thought the mermaid actually came to life like he was expecting, and turns out Destiny, trick. It wasn't really a prank. It was actually a trick to get him to leave her alone, and then she got her bracelet back, and then of course speaking of losing objects, that what the fuck was that animal called that the redneck marshal and his best friend were fighting Destiny, Parker, and Bill over, what were, I don't remember. It was like a camel and a lot of camel, but it was more like a llama. I don't fucking remember the animal's name. But it was the kind of animal species that redneck Marshall and Javi were fighting with the three amigos over with. Not to mention alpaca, something like that. Well, the alpaca they were trying to win, that the redneck Marshall won instead. He ended up eating the key, and then the key when Marshall figured out their trick. I mean, even though he won, he paid the price for it because the book's pages were blank, and it turns out they never found that treasure. So therefore, when and of course that Destiny snoring, let's with the sounded like my bedtime Bubba, or even the one for the car that drove the bedtime Bubba that kept my sister up at night, both pre-Lenore and during Lenore when we visited Mama and Papa on Sandhurst. But the one from the car that drove my dad crazy, shut that fucking thing off. I was getting PTSD flashback when hearing Destiny snore because it reminded me of the Bubba doll snore. And I can't do it as well as Bubba the talking stuffed animal or Destiny Baker himself. Mallory James Mahoney is a legend for making that look so realistic. And then of course the geyser, but Bill's hat was part of, everybody, Bill wanted to have a hat on. He wanted to have the hat on, but it turns out after the whole hat fiasco backfired. Turns out he didn't need that hat after all. And then, Jake was stuck playing video games, which Parker kind of forced him. And then eventually Jake realized what he did wrong. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I was stuck in the moment. It was just part of it. I was just trying to beat that game. And we found out that his full name was Jake Jacobs, or Jake Jacobs, however the fuck you want to say his name. But wow, those are the things I did not get to go over that I should have gone over yesterday. So I apologize for that. But anyway, we're gonna go outside for a little while. I might not get some footage there, but we have some laundry to sort first. So please bear with me as I try to get all this stuff done before we knock out the rest of the Bunk'd batch episodes before we get back in the game starting tomorrow. All right, so another piece of info from this episode of Bunk'd that I forgot to go over. These episodes of Bunk'd I forgot to go over yesterday because it was so fucking rushed. Where the fuck does the dark clothes go? Okay, white, light. Okay, fine, fuck it. All right, so yeah, and the battle of the battle of fame and fandom between Lou and Noah, because there were two, different, fictional icons made up by fictional characters, where, Lou was an author and Noah was an actor, and they were fighting over fandom at this con that they, came up with, that, Noah's love interest is equivalent to my real life, and my love interest in real life, Pamela Linebog, got to have a front row seat for. And when they started arguing about who's like gonna be in the spotlight more than the other, it's like both of the fans they had, all the fans they gained ended up walking away because they got sick and tired of their bullshit. And what I mean by bullshit is they're arguing. So therefore, they talked it out at the end, and the thing is, that's what happens in these comedies. there's a situation gets created, and then one tries to get favored over the other or whatever, or one tries to help the other, and then when that backfires, the person that they were trying to help gets mad and upset, doesn't want to talk to them, and then in the end of the episode, they come together and talk it out and fix it like nothing happened. That's what happened with Lou and Noah here. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, shit. I think I'm gonna fuck this up. That's white, and this is dark, I think. I'm still trying to get used to this sorting laundry thing. I know how to do it, but I gotta figure out this proper and correct arrangements of where certain colored clothes go. And then there was another thing from yesterday's episode that I wanted to talk about too, but I don't remember it. Let me see here. Trying to think. Wait. Oh yeah, that lady who scammed Lou, she thought, she was actually, she was trying to get her, Lou, she scammed Lou into thinking it was her actual campaign to be the cover girl on the front page the cover of a magazine before you turn to the front page. So therefore, she thought it was, this evil lady tricked Lou into thinking she was a real business lady. And then when she decided to take her into the deepest, darkest part of the woods in Kikiwaka Ranch, she opted to take a picture, thinking she was doing a picture for the whole magazine cover, only for her to get staple. I don't remember her name, but I know she was played by Anna Garcia. She stapled Lou to the wall and walked away. Luckily, Bill, who warned her, like Ward Burton, about that it was a scam, and which Lou, of course, was too excited to realize the potential serious threat, serious, possible risk and fear and factor that it may not be a real legitimate thing, it might be a scam, and he was right. But luckily he was nice enough to unstaple her from the wall. And of course the evil lady, never played by Anna Garcia, who I can't remember her fucking name, ended up failing anyway. So even if Lou and Bill didn't do anything, the lady still lost and failed, regardless if Bill and Lou had something to do with it. So therefore, yeah. So that was the Brett Bodine through Matt Kenseth installment of Bunk'd yesterday. So I'm going to finish sorting this laundry. I'm going to head outside for a little while. And then once I get back in and, warm myself up for, season 2 of Spring is in the Air premiere and the 2023 Sandy Ridge premiere, which is both going to premiere in the same day. I will meet you all in the basement later on when we go over the Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton installments. Catch y'all later on tonight to wrap this all up.
Later that night.
And just like that, the hangover of Christmas and being sick 3 times during Adventures in Autumn and Winter in the early part of Winter Wonderland, including vomiting for the first time in 15 years a week before Christmas, is no more. We are officially back in the game and are ready to finish out the 2022-2023 television season in real time. Starting tomorrow with, I think, is the Jimmy Spencer installment of A Million Little Things, but not before. I think it is the Bobby Labonte installment of The Goldbergs. Man, I couldn't have made it this far in the television season without you. Remember at this time last year how we thought we were losing, our passion for our shows because it was getting tiresome. Well, I kind of felt it again this year at almost the exact same time of year where I was actually going to abandon the season. But at least I had a legitimate reason to abandon it, and then actually say, abandon it, even though it was out without warning, because the schedule was getting too brutal, and warm weather was calling my name in March and April going into May. So but not even spring-like weather like we actually got last year, but summer weather where it was like mid to upper 70s, lower 80s in March and April, and was basically in the lower to mid 80s by May. So yeah, but anyway, we just got through with the Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton installment of Bunk'd, and them lap car up there amongst the top 10. I'm trying to do my best Ward Burton. Not going to do something about when I'm down. I don't usually get in those guys' way. That guy was up there. Oh, damn. My Ward Burton voice is very shitty, so please forgive me. But anyway, let's get into it. We're just going to go over random events and in no particular order. First of all, the ice cream, where, Noah was trying to get Bill to expand his horizons about his outside of his favorite vanilla. And he actually enjoyed it, but again, as much as he enjoyed all of them, he's sticking with his favorite, and that makes him happy. So you should, even if you try to encourage someone to, expand their horizons out of something they've been loyal to for almost their whole life, I mean, it's good, but like if they don't want to do it, just and they want to stick with what's made them happy for all this time, just let them. And if you let them, as long as they're happy, we're happy. You're gonna be happy too. Kind of like how people try to tell me, hey, Mark, I'm glad you enjoy. I'm glad you occasionally will enjoy other music and other songs and other artists and other bands, but I think you should just expand when it comes to, wanting to play music whenever, people are playing music, and whenever you want to play music is fine, but expand it outside of Ricky Martin. Well, that's never going to happen. As much as I enjoy other songs, other artists, other bands and singers and whatnot, because, it's smooth jazz, or, songs I heard in my PS1 and PS2 games as a kid and a teen growing up on Lenore and Sanders when I played them casually, and just when I wasn't watching NASCAR, I was playing that. As much as I enjoyed those, I'm sorry. My number one choice where I'm involved in a situation where we're playing music is always going to be Ricky Martin or Nothing Till the Day I Die. And then we have people telling me at dances, when they actually play Ricky Martin, whether I cause it or not. But yeah, and I'm going crazy, shaking my bonbon as I'm allowed to. I have in 2 more days will mark 24 years of living La Vida Loca, and I'm gonna make a post on that too. So therefore, like say, that song, A Cup of Life plays at a dance, and I'm going crazy, shaking my bonbon, ale, upside, inside out. And then all of a sudden, the song ends, and then I go take my breather, because I'm out of breath, huffing and puffing with tremendous force, and then I get a drink, and then I finally get all cooled off, and I'm all stopped. I'm not huffing and puffing no more. I'm no longer out of breath. And then all of a sudden, Michael Jackson comes on. I'm just idle, because I don't give a shit. I don't even care if he's dead or alive. I just never cared for him. I just don't give a shit about him outside of Human Nature. Human Nature is the only song I give. Now, if Human Nature were to come on, then yes, I would dance. But in the heat of the moment, I'm not going to think about that. It's good, people, have some, people who know me in real life will come up to me and be like, wait a minute, Mark, how is it that you can dance to Ricky Martin, but not to Michael Jackson? Well, the answer is pretty simple. I don't give a shit about Michael Jackson like almost everybody else does, because for the last 2023, for the last 23, now 20, come out to be 24 years, come March 23rd, since the year 1999, my number one priority in music, as much as I enjoy some other songs, artists, bands, singers, and whatnot, will always be Ricky Martin and Livin' La Vida Loca, or Nothing Till the Day I Die. And that's never going to change. So why you try to, alter something that's for someone that alter something why try to alter something that makes someone happy by trying to have them change it up? I mean, if they don't want to expand their horizons, they don't have to unless they choose to. So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with me, when, being a Spurs fan, even though we're not any good anymore. I mean, I've had people tell me that I should, find a different team now that we're bad. We're no longer the championship contending Spurs that I grew up with as a kid and a teen, and even for my first half of my adult years. I mean, we have, people here in Northeast Ohio, real life friends that get mad at me or don't like the fact that I don't support the local team, especially when it's kids that who have not been alive as long as me, because I've been a Spurs fan longer than most of the modern day new generation Gen Z Cavalier fans who have been alive. So I mean, it's not going to, no matter how much you get mad, I'm always going to be San Antonio Spurs or nothing till the day I die. No switching teams here. And which is why, I can still like current players because just so I can keep up with the times. But that's it, even though I didn't want to do that at first. But people bitched at me on TikTok saying, why can't you like any current players? And why I know you, Tim's your favorite, he doesn't play anymore. Well, why the fuck did that even matter? I mean, that's another thing. People say, why don't you just get a different player's jersey? You could still be a Spurs, but get like Keldon Johnson or I remember someone at Murray Ridge one time said I should get an Aldridge jersey and expand my horizon with Spurs players. Yeah, I mean, I can root for current players and modern players all I want. If you want me to, I will. But there's only one player's jersey I'm ever going to wear, past, present, old, new, active, or retired, or dead, or deceased. And so I'm always gonna wear Timothy Theodore Duncan's jersey or nobody's until the day I die. So, because who the fuck would want to see me in a Spurs jersey that's not Duncan? It's not him. So it would look weird for seeing me in like even a Ginobili or a Parker jersey. It wouldn't make any sense because everybody who has been a big part of my life, past and present, no matter how much older you are than me, how much younger than me, they've been getting used to me singing me in a Tim Duncan jersey. I do not want to change that for anyone. You wonder why I wear those Tim Duncan jerseys in the summertime, when I go to fairs like the Brook Park Home Days when I'm about to go to in July, when I bring you guys that docuseries, or every year when I go to the Corn Fest. So that way, when I'm walking around and I'm not paying attention, one of my real life friends that I don't get to see all the time, like here in Ridgeville, or like my old friends in Brook Park that are still there that are now grown up, that I don't get to see as often at all anymore because I live 45, 50 minutes away. In case they spot me, in case they it's easy for them to spot me too. They see the Duncan and they're like, Mark, but it's not as big of a deal over there like it is here, because here is basically where I see myself with my life now. Because, when I go back there, and I feel just disconnected, like I don't belong anymore. Sure, in 2016, 2017, 18, and 19, I felt disconnected because it was where I saw myself. This is where I saw myself those years. But now this is where I see myself more than ever before. Where it's gonna feel more disconnected I'm gonna feel more disconnected than those years, because this is my first time going back in 4 years since the day after my sister got married, and majority of those friends that were still there all those years, and even the first year we did go back in 2015, like months after we moved out of there to here. It's gonna feel a whole lot different knowing that all the school buildings look nice, considering they couldn't do that shit while me and my generation of friends were there. A lot of my friends that were still there moved to other parts of Ohio or other states, and unfortunately, 5 of them died. So it's going to feel weird knowing that most of those friends that moved away to other parts of Ohio and other states are not going to be there. Neither of the 5 friends that I had in that life phase are not going to be there because they went to be with God in heaven. So I get Noah wanting Bill to expand his horizons, but at least in the end he came to his senses and just let him be happy. And then, of course, Rose, the Buffalo Betty, because the other two were working in the ice cream parlor where Bill and Noah were doing the little flavor shenanigans. So Rose did not want Jake in the beauty show, so the beauty show with all the clothing and shit, and Destiny tried, but just failed. But just when you thought all hope was lost, she took matters into her own hands and just let just made him come up anyway. And of course he did. And Rose seemed to be proven wrong about him until you just think all hope was lost even there too, when Destiny accidentally sent Jake into the pile of food, and they were so embarrassed that they won, but they sure paid the price for it because they ended up leaving before they had a chance to announce the winner because they were so embarrassed of what just happened. But Rose coming to confront them, saying, hey, don't leave, and if you don't leave before I announce you guys won, saying it was her way of saying, hey, shit happens, what can you do? And it turned out to be a major success. So either way, you ended up winning anyway. So good job. So that was her way of saying, don't be embarrassed. Shit happens, I mean, we're all human, make mistakes. So that was really good, And then Parker was trying to become an American citizen. Unfortunately, he can't run for president in the Bunk universe because he was actually born in Canada. And he mentioned Priscilla a lot. But since Meg is away working on the Winchesters, but now that the Winchesters finished up their inaugural season, a show that I watched, but that I was gonna watch, but that I didn't watch for I was scrapped from my schedule before I even could get to it because I hate scary shit. So that's why I'm not gonna end my streak of not having a nightmare since 2014. So now, if the Winchesters doesn't come back for a long enough while, or if they somehow get canceled by a pure sudden all of a sudden they get canceled without warning, maybe Meg could come back and we can see Priscilla again. But even if whether the Winchesters continues or not, this season 2 going forward, maybe Meg can still work on the Winchesters, but also be Priscilla, but also try to film some Bunk'd episodes of Priscilla at the same time, do 2 jobs simultaneously. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. And then, of course, she had the return of the redneck Marshall and the chili eating contest, and I don't know how he never caught Destiny in the act of sabotaging the chili. And actually, he was on her side for a change because he's always so hard on Destiny, and I don't know why. But this time they were on the same page, and he didn't like the chili, and the nasty chili made the poor redneck sick. It made the poor redneck sick, unfortunately. Who's blowing up my TikTok DM? Okay, it was just one of my fans on my exploding empire TikTok empire on my main account that was messaging me how has my day been, and man, it was awesome. You would not believe the day I had, but we're gonna save that conversation for another post, another video. So, man, I'll just let my other social media posts do the talking. But wow, I mean, you said this time Marshall was on the same page as Destiny for once, and it was pretty good to see. And I know Destiny didn't want to hurt Bill's feeling. That's another thing with this whole, there's a situation and then they get into it, then it backfires and they fix it. But they always try to keep it from backfiring by telling a lie to cover it up, and then they fall for the lie before they figure out what's going on. And so I love how these shows, do that so that way they can keep from hurting their friends' feelings. But if we tried this in real life, especially kids from my generation, that'd be considered lying, and then we'd get busted like Adam Petty, and then we'd have to suffer consequences worse than we do it if we told the truth the first time. Because even if you told the truth, the real saying we learn as kids, the truth will set you free. And even if you tell the truth immediately, you'll still get in trouble, but not as much as you would if you actually told a lie to begin with. Because if you tell the truth, nobody's going to be happy. They're going to be miffed, but there's no consequences, no punishments, nothing. It's just a stern reprimand talking to hey, don't do it again. That's all. That's all you got to do. That's really all you got to. They ask for. It's just the truth, and then it's all good. So therefore, yeah, and then Bill took a beating in these episodes. We had the whole Manny Petty shit, and he was ticklish, and I feel bad for Lou for, getting all that shit all over her. And then, trying to think, there was another thing. Oh, yeah, Bill's twin sister. I think her name was Jill, I think I could be mistaken, but yeah, he didn't want to hurt her feelings. But when she, about the whole, not wanting to do the dance thing, and how she gets too over the edge to the point where she makes everybody wants to do what makes her happy, to the point where she doesn't listen to her brother enough. And she was open, okay, Bill, you should have told me the first time. I'm not mad because why, I'll never be here. Now, she didn't say it like this, but this is that's how she meant it in this kind of context. Just I'm not mad, and I'll never get mad at you because, if something's not right, you can always talk to me, and I can find a way to fix it. And he told her, and she's like, okay, I'll try to listen to you more often, but let me have some leeway every once in a while. We'll split it, and they make compromises. See, that's what my mom and I do that all the time, to the point where I still get what I want, but at the same time, she still gets what she wants, I don't know how to explain it. Compromises. I have to look this up to see what the true meaning of it is. Man, and then Winnie's brother, and that was a beautiful storyline, a hell of a beautiful storyline, and man, I mean, and what was Winnie's brother's fiance? I can't remember his name, but. Sorry if I'm forgetting names, but I'm not stopping the tape to keep looking. I gotta get this shit done, and so I can go upstairs and have some downtime, and let my sister know I'm coming up because so that way she knows not to bring the dogs out. Well, because I'm not used to her dogs, so she lives out of state and all that stuff. Because she married a guy that's in the Navy, but yeah, Oh yeah, Destiny. Winnie's brother and his fiance, Thomas, I think his name was. Either way, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Like they shared once their secret Nicholas I think his name was either Nicholas or Thomas, one of the two. So correct me in the comments if you make it this far in the video. But is it Wayne? You know what? I'll just fucking look for the hell of it. Okay, I was right about the Nicholas, but Wayne was the brother's name. So Wayne and Nicholas, where Wayne told his sister the same secret that Nicholas told Jake, and then they brought that cute little sheep and set off fireworks, and the whole fireworks scaring the sheep, and the whole two of the secrets backfiring but turning out for the greater good. They said let's let that slide, and let it accept the fact that it happened, because one day if we have kids, that's going to make a hell of a storyline. I mean, they didn't say it like that, but that's how they meant it, and they proposed to each other at the same time. The only reason why Winnie and Jake try to get the same secret, that way they can get them to propose to each other at the same time, and not at the same time, but like at the same place, at the same time. So. And then we had Noah and Winnie having a go at it while, Bill and Jill were doing I'm not saying that because it's other kids, and I'm not saying anything because I'm not getting my ass canceled for saying that. I mean, if they were boyfriend and girlfriend, then yeah, but save that shit for Pam and I. But I'm not mentioning what it is because I'm not getting my ass canceled for that shit. Oh my God, save that for Pam and I if you please. But Winnie and Noah, and that's another thing about Winnie. I'll get to that momentarily. Get to this after I talk about this. But Winnie got taught a lot of lessons about being violent and dangerous and wild. So Noah taught her a lesson about making it seem like doing dangerous stuff is okay to make her lose interest in it. And with that sword fight, and of course who even fucking won that? Oh yeah, Winnie won that, where that she got to see that meant she was allowed to do whatever she wanted, and then Destiny faked that broken foot when Winnie accidentally dropped that fire extinguisher on her, just to teach her a lesson, reckless abandonment with how you roam the camp and everything, and then she took her into the water with the blow up boat canoe, and they got soaking wet. We never got to see them, walk around off after getting off the boat, sopping in water and, trying to dry themselves off. And Lou was trying to handle that hamburger landline. Like, who makes a phone out of a hamburger? Who the fuck does that shit? Oh my goodness. I mean, but it didn't even work out anyway, so Lou just gave up and said, you know what, we have landline, so we'll just have to suck it up and deal with it. So, oh man. And, there's really much else to discuss in this, Bobby Labonte-Ward Burton installment. Well, even if there is, there's really not, I really don't have much time else to discuss it. This one was, recap, day 2 recap was much better than the one we did yesterday, since yesterday was rushed with my family, and then to the point where we had to continue it into today while we were sorting the laundry, and then we just wrapped it up successfully with this. So we're back in the game. We got the Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Spencer installments of The Goldbergs and A Million Little Things tomorrow. We have oh my god, what installment of that girl Lele is it? What installment of that girl Lele was it? So it turned out to be neither. Well, that's okay. So let me get this straight, like Scott Pruitt. Tomorrow we got the Bobby Labonte installment of The Goldbergs and the Jimmy Spencer installment of A Million Little Things, and then Thursday we got the Jeremy Mayfield installment of that girl Lele, and then of course Jimmy Spencer. Hey, an Ultra Everham doubleheader. A Jimmy Spencer installment, I think it is, of Not Dead Yet. And then Friday, oh, it's a big one. Oh yeah, here's the thing though. We might have to record this shit in advance. I have to figure it out. But oh no, we don't have to record it in advance. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We got the world premiere, the Steve Park, Rusty Wallace installments of Saturdays on Disney Channel, which is on Friday, because hours before that at 6:30, I think, on the Family Channel. It's going to be aired simultaneously on HBO and the Max and the Family Channel when it premieres early next month. We got a Home Sweet Rome with my friends, my longtime friend Kensington Tallman and one of her best friends, Ava Rowe, and her Kensington's longtime best friend, Samantha Smith, is going to be in this Saturday's skating show with Israel Johnson's brother, Timmy Jr., and this former Danger Force child actress, Maribel Lee, now that she's all grown up. So Saturday, I think we're going to do the presentation episode, which I think will be the Jeremy Mayfield installment of that, if I'm not mistaken, which we're going to, talk about Home Sweet Home, and then the Tony Stewart installment we'll talk about Aaron, and then as I promoted in this in the opening cutscene of this video, the Elliot Sadler Tim Duncan installment of Presentation, we'll talk about my thoughts of Bunk'd getting a season 7. So until next time, this is Mark Oliveira signing off. And keep in mind, we got the TV Megamix of summer 2023 coming. We just recorded Anna Grace Barlow's one-off on the NCIS Hawaii, so we're going to kick that off whenever that may be this summer with an NCIS doubleheader with Kai Moya, Anna Grace Barlow, and then we're going to do, in this particular order, FBI International with Crizia Bajos, and then Bob Hart's episode with Marcus Fulmar, and then we'll do a 911 Lone Star doubleheader with Bella Blanding. And then the rest is history in no particular order. There's a good chance we might add Lopez versus Lopez, depending on how many more times Jessica Marie Garcia appears on there or not. If this is just her one time, then yeah, we'll add that. If it's twice, then we'll add that too. But if it's 3 or more times, yeah, I can't do that shit. I just can't, because it would be too much. And was there something else I wanted to announce? Oh, yeah. There's going to be 2 more one-off shows we're going to be watching to support. Oh, yeah. No, okay. No. The TV Mega. Well, you'll find out more about detail about the TV Megamix as we wind down the 2022-2023 television season. But here's the one thing I wanted to announce. It's the last thing before we do the outro. So, there's going to be 2 Call Me Cat one-off doubleheaders where I'm going to be watching that show, 2 episodes of that show to support longtime friends of mine, Marcus Fulmar in the NFL Super Bowl episode, and the one that just aired like this past week or 2 ago, the one with Kevin Daniels in it from Coop and Cammy and The Big Leap. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, pace yourself, bring your ass, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes you just got to be present. You never fail until you stop trying. It never pays to worry too much about things. It's never too late to turn the day around. Another day on time, another day to shine. Sometimes you just got to flock yourself. Trust your instinct, stand up for yourself, not back down to anyone. All for one for all. She love, act different. You got to bounce. Just when you think things will never be okay again, here comes a miracle that proves you way wrong. A connection can happen when you least expect it. Honesty is the best policy. Sometimes you just gotta dive in, follow your dreams, and I'll figure this shit out one day. But anyway, time to get the fuck out of here. Take care, everyone. Good night, and I will see you all for that next video, which, yeah, I'm going to write down these last 3 lines of the outro. That way we can finally get it perfect as we go on. And, it's going to keep growing and growing when we start doing Home Sweet Rome, Aaron and Saturday. So be ready for more, quotes from shows that we're going to add to the outro. So see you later, everyone.